10 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
Yeah.
Radiant team ban. Dire team pick.
The sack.
Radiant team pick.
Storm Spirit.
Radiant team pick.
Spirit Breaker.
Dire team pick.
Let's try that again, shall we? Okay. Hello, guys. We have Switch Studio. I'm having a little problem here with this thing, which... Oh, we should rewind. Slight changes. Let's try this. Let's try this one more time. Let's see if it works this time. Okay, here we go.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Hello, guys. Welcome back. As you can probably notice, I've switched studios. Cap has taken over Studio 2 for the European Qualifier games. And here we are. Game number 3. In this best of 3, it has taken a little while, but we're looking pretty good. Signature.Trust against Mineski. They've battled it out. They're probably both pretty stressed out. This is game 3. This is like the game of their lifetimes, pretty much. The ESL One New York qualifiers. Both teams been around for a long time, and neither of them have really, performed amazingly well. They've got themselves to big tournaments. They've qualified, but being able to go to something like ESL One New York for either of these squads, which have had a couple of little minor roster changes, would be a massive deal. So we'll see how that draft progresses, see how Mr. Leshrak, the Rainbow Pony, will do, and I can welcome in my co-caster as well, Musica. You've been here the whole day, we've seen a lot of fun, a lot of back and forth. What do you think? I've asked for your predictions, you've been pretty right, you've been pretty on point the most part. Game 3 here, Trust or Mineski?
I think Mineski will take this one.
Oh, really?
They have the comfort heroes right now. They have the Storm and the Spirit Breaker. And this is something they're really confident in. They're really confident, they're really comfortable. And even though they gave the last track to Trust, I feel that Mineski are pretty confident against a hero like that. And they should know what they're doing when the next drafting phase comes.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay. Well, interesting that Trust actually go for a Lion here, and I guess that's to deal with the Storm and Spirit Breaker. You've got a good couple of stuns. Hex, great against Storm, and then Earth Spike. That Lion stun, good against the Spirit Breaker when he's charging in. So I can definitely see the merits there of the Lion. But second picking him? Is it more worthwhile picking Lion over, let's say, a Phantom Lancer, a Clockwork even?
I would definitely not go for Clockwork this game. Clockwork doesn't... Right now, looking at the cores of Mineski, Clockwork doesn't really give anything. It can't really trap the Storm, it can't really... It can sort of trap the Spirit Breaker, but it's not really that good. And the Lion just gives it... The Lion pick would make a lot more sense. It doesn't give anything away. It's good against both the heroes, and it opens up the draft with Trust, Signature.Trust.
Oh, and then a Gyrocopter for Mineski. They banned out the Global Silencer, and that's going to be a little bit annoying for the Lion and Leshrak, but it's also a great hero against Storm and Spirit Breaker, stopping them from playing too aggressively, from charging forward that little bit too much. But Trust here, they need someone who can fight it out. They need someone who can kind of give Leshrak a little bit of space while he's farming, while he's running around, and then Leshrak comes into his own like 25-30 minutes in. But who's that hero going to be? Usually, it's the offlaner. They look for that aggressive kind of hero for ABBA. Oh man, is it happening?
Oh.
CK Wisp? Trust is like one of the few here.
Tiny, maybe?
Well, it goes straight for the Disruptor. Winter Wyvern was first banned out here. Trust are one of the few teams that play CK Wisp anymore. And I freaking love it. Tiny Wisp is obviously going to be a little bit more standard, a little bit safer. So game 3 of a best of 3, you know, obviously you're not gonna throw all caution to the wind and go for one of your crazy strats. So yeah, they go for the Tiny Wisp, and this is something they are incredibly comfortable with. And the ban from dogs here is good, but I feel a Magnus coming for Trust. That is one of the heroes that they pick with a Tiny Wisp. And power up Tiny, RP and skewer back in. Comboed up with Leshrac and Lion, he's a hero that can make space for anybody.
Right now, Mineski's heroes looks as if they can deal with the Wiz Tiny really well. When the Wiz Tiny relocates in, all the Disruptor has to do is place an ulti on top with the Gyrocopter's cooldown, and the Wiz Tiny will pretty much be stuck in there. But what's really important here is that the Lion has a lot on his shoulders. He's the one that's setting up all the ganks. He really needs to be on point. He needs to get his dagger really quick into the game in order to be able to, in order to catch out any of these heroes, rather, for the Wiz Tiny to really start being effective. So the early game for the Lion is really going to be important.
What do you think they'll go for as their last one? So they've got their off lane, they've got a support. Is it going to be a secondary support here with the Disruptor?
It might be a Spirit Breaker off lane with one more support, or they can just get.
How do you feel about
even a Witch Doctor would be good here against Wiz Tiny.
Okay, yeah, the cask bouncing back and forth. Death Ward's pretty good as well. I think Phoenix with that sort of dual lane off lane maybe could work. Undying is
Undying's
potential. Could that be okay here? They don't have anything really to slow the attack speed, and Wisp obviously buffs you up a hell of a lot. But if they've got the heroes, they can glimpse back into the Tombstone. They've got Gyrocopter to slow down the retreat.
Omni Knights.
Again?
We've seen 3 Omni Knights in 6 games today.
Yeah, and every time I'm super surprised. I just don't see it coming.
It hasn't really worked out for any of the teams that pick it.
Well, they've got Repel for Storm, the Heal Bomb for Spirit Breaker, and Repel for Gyrocopter. Hell, that works as well. But Guardian Angel against Tiny Wisp is pretty good.
10 seconds.
Again, my one big issue with Omni Knight is laning phase. What does he do during the laning phase? Do you sit behind someone? Because you're not an Earthshaker. You can't block people off, you don't have the long range stun, you just sit there, you stack, you heal. Maybe you repel. You control runes a little bit. It doesn't offer you the same kind of laning potential as a lot of other heroes. Mid-game wise, it does give you a ton though. With Purification, Repel and Guardian Angel, you do get a lot of sustain and team fight capability from that, outside of the AoE damage you've got, and yeah, there we go.
Magnus, you're right.
I knew it was coming. It's Trust. I've watched this team time and time again. Every freaking time they get a chance. Tiny plus Magnus. Empower the hell out of him.
This is really... It really all comes down to initiation. Magnus, in a way, it makes the Omni Knight pick kind of obsolete. If you get a good RP... if you get a good IP, you can just skewer all the other heroes in your Tiny, and just make the Omni Knight out of position, and you can just pretty much kill them before the Omni Knight even reaches the team. So it's really gonna all come down to initiation and just see who can execute better.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, we'll see. What do you think about laning wise? Does the Tiny Wisp go mid against that Storm Spirit? It seems logical, right? Storm doesn't fare too well. He can trade hits with the Wisp. But then do you put the Leshrac up at top lane? What do you think's the best way for Trust to run it?
I think with Tiny middle, it would be the most efficient way to do it. However, having a Leshrac middle with the Lion roaming could prove really... It could give the Storm a really hard time in the lane itself. So I would think maybe putting the Wiz Tiny at top would be better, with the Wiz just constantly stacking, the Lion constantly missing, and this way they'll have kill potential on both top and the mid lane. And the Spirit Breaker charge wouldn't be as effective as it normally would be. Yeah.
I think the one thing I'm looking at is that Lion loves to stack and pull to get his level 6 and get his Blink Dagger up, and safe lane is going to be where he's more comfortable. But I like the way that you sort of put it, that if he's missing off the map regardless, it's going to be that kind of fear factor for the Radiant. Where is he? Is he ganking? Is he smoking? Have they grouped up? What are they doing? Then the Wisp, I guess mid lane he has a little bit of a better time controlling the top rune and then going to stack these two camps and running back. But if he's top lane anyway, he doesn't really mind too much. You could even not go for the bottle build at the start. And I'm not saying skip bottle completely, but we used to see a lot of Chinese players go for the Soul Ring Tranquils build on Wisp, and that works out decently.
Yeah, the issue with Signature.Trust hero is that both of the heroes really need that level 6 to be really effective. Well, Lion not so much. With the level 6, he gets a boost in damage, but realistically speaking, he can start moving once he hits level 3. And with a Leshrac, with a Tiny, he definitely can get kills across the map. It's more of the Wisp. The Wisp really needs to get his level 6 online, just so that the ganking potential can come from the entire map. The Magnus, once he gets his level 6, with the combination of Wisp Tiny, can kill anyone. With the Lions, the same thing. And if the Leshrac gets a Eels, he could possibly be a gang starter as well.
Yeah, you'll stun, or even if you want to bait people out. One of the great things here with the relocate is that if you do bait the Leshrac, yeah, I'm watching this. Spirit Breaker TPs.
Double TP.
And Disruptor TPs. Very, very interesting. Meanwhile, Aber on the Magnus, he's just running down to bot lane normally. He's got the Wisp tethering him up for a little bit more movement speed.
It looks like a tiny mid. He's got a magic stick for the storm.
Okay. They can hold their own at middle lane pretty nicely. Turn those down a little bit. But Jules is up on top lane, the Spirit Breaker off lane, all on his own. And Jesse Vash, the Omni Knight, going to be supporting the Storm Spirit Jay. QQ once again on the Gyrocopter, going for that pretty nice build I've seen a couple of times. Ring of Protection and Mango. The first time I saw this was Eternal Envy, and I was thinking, what is the meaning behind this? But the HP regen you get is amazing early on. Then the mana burst for that extra little bit of damage. That one final rocket barrage you need to kill someone just comes out of nowhere. It's always a surprise. And with Rio behind him, the glimpse back into that final rocket barrage could be the death of this Magnus time and time again. But you look at Aber. The Magnus with 2 sets of tangos, a salve, a clarity, and a stout shield. Got plenty of regen to sustain him through the laning phase. While Jabs, yeah, he's going for the standard. Go for that bounty rune, get the bottle, and he's even been given a shared tango as well.
Yeah, Jabs is ready for the spammage of the bottom lane. He knows that the Gyrocopter and the Disruptor is going to do all they can to just keep him away from getting lane and getting level 6. Because Magnus is not really a hero that can catch up as quick as compared to other heroes. Yes, he can jungle, but the mana cost and his mana pool is not really that efficient for him to just constantly be in a jungle and catching up. So if they can just delay this Magnus from getting his dagger, and it will mean that Signature.Trust has a lot less to play on.
Yeah, and unlike an Earthshaker, he needs his Blink Dagger a little bit earlier. Because Earthshakers, you can kind of wait for 20 minutes or something and say, yeah, it's okay. I've got Soul Ring Tranquils, I'm fine here, I'll get my Blink Dagger eventually. With Magnus, you need it like 15 minutes or earlier on this hero, unless you have some magical plays coming out from Lakel's, tossing you forward or something like that. On the top lane, stuns come out, Split Earth to follow, oh, it's not going to be there. Not in time, and Boombell wastes a little bit of mana there, stunning up the Spirit Breaker. MyPro was not in position just yet, while middle lane is just trading hits here. Storm against Wisp. Behind him, Omni Knight to heal him back up to full. Aber. Do you think he goes bottle on this Magnus? Just try and control bot rune? It's probably the best way to go. Or do you want to go boot first to try and dodge out of Rocket Barrage?
I think bot will be better, because realistically you're not going to be walking up there in vision for him to glimpse anyway, so just keeping a distance with the shockwave spam would be sufficient.
Oh god, that fight at middle lane! Jules nearly kills the Wisp, survives on like 5 HP, and then the Remnant stops Lakel's from getting the killing blow on Storm Spirit. That toss nearly kills off the Storm. But the winner of this is going to be the Radiant. They've basically killed off all aggressive potential here of Trust. The Wisp Tiny cannot fight up against them. And they get top rune. And this Omni Knight has actually proven to be an incredible asset to this middle lane.
Yeah, he's just stacking and guarding the Storm, ensuring that the Wisp Tiny can't really go all in on the Storm. So it's, in a way, it's to secure a good start on the Storm.
Oh, they're trying to kill the Storm now. Toss back under the tower. The remnants are placed, but the damage output isn't there. They need a tower hit and a final punch. Oh, there's your kill.
Really well played.
But because the tower takes it with it split across Tiny and Wisp, First Blood Gold, not really there. Well, the First Blood announcement, not really there. Interesting. Jules, he levels up charge and instantly uses it on the creep wave. Now, Jay on this Storm at middle lane, he's managed to kind of hold his own for a while. One death is not the end of the world. That's kind of expected. You expect Storm to die here unless you play completely out of your mind on the Storm Spirit. But it's the next couple of deaths he's going to be wary of. He needs to start building up the jungle. The Omni Knight needs to stack up for him, build up bank there while the Storm Spirit can go and clear it. Then you've got to be wondering, where does the Magnus come into this? Does he slide across? Does he come in and try and steal some stacks? Or does he try and skewer this Storm Spirit before he hits level 6?
I don't think the Magnus is going anywhere for now. He's probably just going to stay at bottom to try and get as much as he can. Whereas the Wisp is not really... Oh, he's stacking pretty efficiently. He has 2 stacks going on at once. So once the Tiny gets level 5 or 6, they're probably going to be looking to clear the stack. And get... Oh, finding for the rune here. They're going to get it.
Oh, he gets
it. Got it.
But the Avalanche toss, does that finish him? No, the orbs don't kill him off. And now Jabs being chased by Jules, not going to find the kill. Storm did come out of Invis though. Purification, the bash!
Oh,
Jules!
It's so big.
He gets the RNG gods on his side. And they take down Lakel's Tiny. Now he charges straight onto Jabs. Can he get more bashes? Can he get a few more? Earth Spike gonna stun him up. Jabs with the bottle through. 1 hit, no bash. 2 hits, cancelled out. And Jules is now on the retreat. Guess what? Magnus has joined in. He walks all the way from bottom lane and says, you know what? I'm sick and tired of this bloody gyrocopter rocket barraging and glimpsing me back into death and destruction, so I'm gonna come up and get a free kill on this guy now. Avatos again, Lakel's into the Wisp. Storm Spirit will escape this one though with a remnant placed, and he's getting very close to level 6. So kill potential in the Storm is waning pretty quickly.
Yeah, the Storm has been playing really well in the mid lane. I mean, just look at his CS. It's 24 CS, 25. Up on the 14 CS Tiny. And considering that he's going dual lane against, he's been fighting 1v2 as well. He's just been playing really well. Even though he died once, the creep CS advantage is definitely got it, made it worth it.
Yeah, and this is before he's even looked at the jungle. Never mind taking it. Avalanche toss. Tosses a creep. So Jay is going to be perfectly fine here. Jesse Vash even comes in to try and save him, but he didn't need saving. And this entire time, while we've been looking at like the transition of lane to lane, MyPro, he's farming decently up on the top lane, but this gyrocopter, 37 for 9. He's the one that you've got to be scared of. Ring of Vasilius turned on, pushing into the tier 1. And the rest of his team, Rio stacking up the jungle, Jay taking little runes around in the river, and everything just seems a little more efficient from Mineski this game. Trust, I don't know, it feels like they've got the jungle stacks, they've got these 2 good stacks for the Tiny and Wisp, but they're relying pretty heavily on the Tiny and Wisp. The Leshrac hasn't made any movements yet, and he's pretty greedy in his own right. The Lion, he's just bought himself boots. Laning phase, did you expect Trust to kind of do this poorly, given their kind of potential? Oh man, okay, Jay, he hits 6 and nearly goes in on Tiny. Because they do have a good way of coming back with their combos.
Yeah, I expected if Signature.Trust to do a lot better in their lanes, considering that top should be a winning lane, middle should be a winning lane against the Storm, and the only lane that really should be losing is bottom. But because of the presence of the Omni Knight, they're actually winning both the middle and bottom lane.
You watching this as well?
Yes, I'm watching this.
Well, regen rune wears out, so the fun is over. No more zip zap, but he does get himself a good 800 gold there from that stack. That's his soul ring done if he wants it. He's got himself Treads 1 bottle, and take a look at this bad boy. Gyrocopter levels. What the hell?
Oh, they're coming in for the stacks.
Oh no.
Can they clear it fast enough?
They're gonna die. Lekels is gonna die here. He's gonna. Oh, they don't have the glimpse. They're not in range. There we go. There we go. Rio back into the cooldown. Killing field as well. Down goes the Tiny with a purification. Charge across as well as MyPro wants to get a part of this fight. And what the hell is Steam? Please stop it. Steam just spams me with messages saying Reborn has finished downloading. Jay going forward. MyPro. He's only got 700 HP. With Rocky Barrage up, MyPro turns on the Pulse Nova. But they don't have enough damage. They're diving tier 2s. This is the Mineski we all know and love. Diving tier 2s. Like,
up at top.
it's 8 minutes in. 8. It's not 15 minutes in, it's not 20 minutes in, not 25 minutes in. They're going to lose the Disruptor here. The Tiny Wisp will clear him up unless the creeps do. No, they get the kill. It's 8 minutes in and they're diving tier 2s without taking tier 1s. It's ridiculous.
This is just classic Mineski at its finest.
Like you said, it's them with Storm and Spirit Breaker.
Yeah, at least Signature.Trust gets to clear one of his stacks, but that's not really a big sign of comfort. The stack they clear is the smaller one, and they lost pretty much all the big creeps of the main stack to the Gyrocopter. So the Gyrocopter right now is really far ahead, and the Storm as well. And the Magnus, at least the Magnus got his 6 out of that Endeavor. He didn't come to the fight, he just focused on getting his level 6. And if the next fight were to occur, he should be able to deliver a lot more.
He's got himself about 750 gold, but finding farm in this kind of game is a little bit difficult. Disruptor at bot lane. I think they want to make a go here. They don't have relocate. I think the pings are coming out saying, guys, kill the Disruptor. He's a free kill down here. The Wisp is actually moving his way down towards bottom lane, so maybe that's what they're looking for. The Storm, he's mid, 1v1 against this Tiny. Went for the casual bracer after Treads. Jesse Vash, honestly, the Omni Knight, he has been standing for almost AFK there for the first 10 minutes of the game. Wisp has no tether. He's got a TP, but he can't use it. He can't escape. The Wisp, oh, the glimpse back saves QQ. Even with the RP, maybe a stun now, Earth Spike, there's another shockwave ready, but QQ turns the fight. He's got the cooldown, there's no mana left on Aber. 6-3, and this Gyrocopter is running away with the game. Up to 4,500 net worth. Evens up with the Storm Spirit. And now look at this, they're looking for MyPro, they've found him. They've got the mana to jump forward. They'll zip a little bit further forward with a charge, a Purification Bomb, down he goes. And Signature.Trust are crumbling. They're tearing at the seams. What's their comeback plan?
The game has just got a lot harder for Signature.Trust. Mineski is just killing them every lane. At bottom, there's kills. At top, there's kills. Signature.Trust it's really hard for Signature.Trust to find space to farm, and the Storm is just even now entering the jungle, just farm the jungle. And they've even put a sentry in the big camp over here. So Tiny there's really limited places for Tiny to go. Right now, I think all they can really depend on is to just try to get some kills back on Mineski and take it back from there. Because they still have the high burst from the Tiny. They still have, well, they don't have the finger yet, but once it's up, it's going to be almost pretty much guaranteed kill. And they still have the high nuke from the Leshrac.
But yeah, that's the thing. If they can't farm jungle, where do they go? They've got to farm lane. And then that kind of opens things up for them to get jumped on by the Storm, by the Spirit Breaker. But they don't want to group up as 5. They don't want to spread, they don't want to group, they can't really do anything as the Leshrac now tries to come in to save his Lion, but QQ already finds the kill. Storm is farming his own jungle. And the Tiny isn't going for the Blink Dagger. So he's not going to be able to have that jump, stun, kill potential on the Storm or on the Gyro. Or at anyone. You know, Omni Knight's a great target as well, just to blink in, Abatos, finish him off before he can heal, before he can repel. He's going straight in for the Aghanim Scepter. which I wonder if it's a reaction to how poorly this early game has gone. But even then, turning things around to find kills, try and find the momentum back with a Blink Dagger has surely got to be better than putting all your eggs in this one Aghanim's basket.
But they probably think that it's no... If he goes to Blink Dagger, he's just committed to really ganking them. Whereas if he goes for the Aghanim Scepter, he can still find kills around the map with the Wisp, but he really needs the Lion or the Magnus to set up. But judging from the start of the Lion, he's not gonna get his dagger anytime soon. He doesn't even have his Trunkel boots, so... Right now they really just need to depend on Mineski's overcommitment. If Mineski overcommits, Lion gets a good Hex finger, and the Magnus comes in with the RP, then they can turn the game around.
Yeah, and usually, you know, banking on someone else's mistakes is not the best thing to do, but this is Mineski. You know, they have the nickname for a reason. They are called the Intro Boys. They do very well usually in the laning phase. They start crushing people. Late game, you know, often their decision making has been a little bit wonky. But now, today, I've got to say their late game decision making has been pretty on point. Like now they've got Jules, Jay in the roles that they really like to play. They've got Rio playing this really great holding support role. I'm not sure who's making the calls, but everything just seems to be clicking for this Mineski squad right now. And now they've smoked up. They want to try and consolidate this lead. If they can find a pickoff, if they can find, you know, stacked Ancients, if they can find an Observer Ward behind the Tier 1, Tier 2 tower. One kill is all they need to go and take a Tier 1. Kill off a tower, push their advantage a little bit further. And here it is. Observer Ward up near the Ancients, zip forward, Vortex, Purification Bomb, and down he goes. That puts the Storm up to 6,400, and more importantly, I think, slows down the Blink Dagger for that Magnus.
That was actually a really weird place to smoke at, because Signature.Trust doesn't really have any heroes that can clear the Ancients that early on in the game. And it was very unlikely for a hero to walk by that way, but the Magnus unluckily went into that path and got picked off. I think it would have been much better for Mineski to smoke into the enemy jungle and finding the Wiz Tiny there instead, because it's pretty much guaranteed that the Wiz Tiny is going to be farming in their own jungle if they're not showing in the lane.
Well, overall, Mineski sitting at about a good 3,500 net worth lead here as QQ. He's got a good chunk of that one. 4,000 experience lead as well. 7,200 on that Storm Spirit. Like, how close is he to Bloodstone? He basically has it.
He needs
600 gold? Less.
300 gold.
Ridiculous.
This is a very farm Storm Spirit.
15 minutes in. Like, he has it in 60 gold. All of a sudden, he's going to have this Bloodstone. If he can get some charges up and running on it, then he's looking pretty hot. Now, Jules up at top. Maybe this is a good kill here for Trust. Stunned up, charge on cooldown now. The TP relocate comes in as well. Lakels and jabs make damn sure that Spirit Break is dead. Trade-off though. Bot lane. Now gets taken out. Gyrocopter finishes that one off. So it's a 1-for-1 trade tower for tower. They do get an extra kill though on Signature.Trust. Meanwhile, the Storm. Bloodstone's up and running. There we go. Jay has his. Leshrac still a fair distance away though from that nice shiny red item. Glimpse back on the Magnus into the Static Storm. And this repelled Gyrocopter with the Rocket Barrage. Easy damage. Easy kill. Easy life. QQ. Now going into the S&Y. Pretty standard build. Nothing really to deviate from. As they could probably go into Roshan with that DD. Oh, okay, Storm takes it. I was thinking with the lifesteal and DD on the Gyro, they could go into Roshan, take it relatively easily. Contest-wise, Trust don't have anything.
It's quite surprising the Spirit Breaker hasn't found any farm anywhere, considering how the game is going for Mineski.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that toss.
Link toss, stun, Hex. Now Storm is going to get Abba tossed up.
Oh, did he get him?
Himself forward, finds 2 kills. They're going to find a third. Lakels only has the toss. He can't stun, he can't do anything. There's no skewer RP either from Abba. He's
so dead.
Oh dear. Another strike. Gone. Leshrac, the only one still alive, farming top lane. No TP from him. That was disastrous from Trust. Good, like, again, good opening play. Good toss, good Hex, good stun, good Finger of Death. But they didn't have the forethought to realize he's got Bloodstone. He's tanky, 1400 HP with int treads. You can switch that to, 1470 or whatever it is with strength treads. Then he's got Omni Knight with Repel and Heal, and Guardian Angel, Disruptor can come in. They've got a good reaction-based lineup here. And Trust paid the ultimate price for it. Tiny delays his Aghanim Scepter. Okay, not by much, he's still 300 gold away. That kill probably would have finished it off and got him into that Ags. But the Magnus Blink is the one I keep looking back to and thinking, Magnus, he needs his Blink Dagger by 15 minutes. By like 20 minutes is the absolute latest, where it's sort of down the lines of, okay, my Blink Dagger is now really, really far behind. I need to go and farm the jungle and AFK until I get it, kind of situation.
Yeah, it definitely looks that way to me. They don't have the initiation to be able to deal with Mineski's lineup. Right now, the means of initiation is to toss in, either tossing the Lion or the Magnus in, but that is not really reliable because you don't have that instant initiation. Mineski has time to react to it. But on the bright side, Tiny almost has his Aghanim Scepter. His farm is going to be accelerated immensely once the Axe is up. And the Leshrac hasn't actually joined any fights yet, so maybe if the Leshrac starts joining fights, we could start seeing the fights going towards Signature.Trust's favor.
Oh, God. I don't know if you saw that, but Jay is a god, honestly. He's hiding in the small camp down at bot on the Radiant side of the jungle. And yeah, where the Dire are pinging out frantically now, saying he was here. Mid lane, okay, Whisper's gonna die here. No, Whisper's okay. Gets himself away. But yeah, Storm was hiding, breaks like a smoke. Boombell, the Lion, was looking around for an observer ward. Relocate comes into this area. The Magnus was coming in from here, so he was surrounded. And instead of balling back towards base, which, anyone normal would do in a panic situation, I want to go ball back to base. He actually balls to the east, away from the relocate, away from the skewer, away from the RP, away from everything. So Trust, they basically went all in to kill that Storm Spirit and came away with nothing. Now at least Tiny has his Aghanim Scepter. With an Empower. He's hitting pretty hard, just needs to hit pretty fast now. Get himself that Hyperstone or the Asher.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, this Storm is playing really well this game. He's so farmed. He's almost got his Orchid as well. And just after getting the Bloodstone, he got 4 kills instantly, which boosted his Bloodstone to 12.
Is this a 5th?
Oh, nice reaction from the Lion.
Got the Hex and the Stun, but now the Repelled Storm. Yep, there's a 5th. Up to 13 charges. They know the Leshrac's up there, but they don't have the way to get in to stun him. Well, that's something that Signature.Trust can look at and say, well, sigh of relief. They've just used, 2 ultimates there for nothing. Down at bottom lane, Leshrac. He's got his Bloodstone, but he's down to 6 charges. Relocate comes down to bottom lane as well. They got themselves a kill on the Spirit Breaker down here. And they're looking for that tier 1 trade-off though. Tier 1 for tier 2. Very rarely worth it, but when you're this far behind, close to 10k, 20 minutes in, Trust take everything they can get. This Leshrac really needs it. He needs his Yule Scepter, he needs his BKB. And in this situation, I know you love playing Leshrac, right? As a Lesh picker, as a Lesh player, what would you go after the Bloodstone here? Aggressive or defensive?
Oh, in this situation, I think either I think a BKB would be the better choice compared to the Yule Scepter. I mean, the Yule Scepter gives you that power to initiate, but right now, if you don't have the BKB, you're not going to be able to stand in the fight. Not against the Disruptor and the Gyrocopter and the Storm, who are really big right now. Yeah, so you really need that magic immunity to just be able to stand there and fight.
Yeah, I think the Orchid on Storm is going to be the defining factor here. I was thinking BKB as well. The Yule Scepter, good aggressively, can set yourself up into the air and, maybe bait out for the relocate to come through. But if you get silenced up, you are just a walking pony that doesn't do too much. Boombell with Abba. Getting closer to that Blink Dagger on the Magnus now. He's up to 1500, so 750 away from that. Lion is, it's a pipe dream. It's on the horizon. Nowhere near it, really. It's just going to be forever far away. As Gyrocopter finishes off his Sanjin Yasha, actually. 22 minutes in, clear out a couple of ancient stacks. Storm Spirit could start to get his aggressiveness going though. Needs to find a nice little target. They've got a Radiant Observer Ward up here, which has been scouted out and half killed off, so they know the Tiny and Whisper up here. Wisp with a Glimmer, Tiny with a Hyperstone and Aghanim Scepter. But it's always about the trade-offs. Repel on the Gyro means he can stand up on this tier 2 all day long. Doesn't care too much. When the new creep wave comes in, he just hits through it. Helm of the Dominator will regen him back up with that lifesteal and... Whoa, where are they going? They're smoked up 3 here.
Probably looking for the waste Tiny here. They are gonna find him.
Oh, they found the Lion. There's the Orchid, dodge out the Avatar. Now Static Storm dropped as well. Doesn't hit out to anyone. The Relocate not gonna save. Whoa, whoa, what? Relocate's back and then into the Glimmer Cape. But they don't have a Glimpse. They don't have a Vortex. They can't stop the Tiny and Wisp from escaping. So all in all, that's good for Trust. They lose the Lion, but nothing much else.
That was not, yeah, that wasn't a good situation for Trust, but it ended better than expected. Bruv, I'm just really fearful that it's becoming a point where Trust is kind of just entirely depending on the Tiny. It's like, Tiny has to carry this game. If the Tiny doesn't carry, then we pretty much can't win. Because so far, the Lash has had no impact at all whatsoever, and the Lion is still not getting anywhere close to his blink. Or on the bright side, the Magnus has his blink now. So Mineski is going to think twice about pushing the towers from now on.
Or taking Roshan. That's the next big thing. 24 minutes in. You're definitely going to be looking at that Rosh pit and seeing big juicy Roshan. Aegis is Immortal in there. But the Empowered Tiny, with that RP, with the Skewer, a lot of things that Signature.Trust can do here. Maybe not when QQ has a DD rune though. Walks himself into the pit. And this is just asking for it. This is just asking for it, honestly. They can smoke up behind. Have they got one? Yeah, one on the courier coming in now. Spirit Breaker BKB. He can charge himself across to this fight though. Storm has a gem. They've already cleared out the Observer Wards up here. And they're scouting out with a Mud Golem. It's just every little thing, again, from the start of the game till the 25th minute. It's just efficiency. Mineski are being incredibly efficient with every single one of their movements, with every single play they make. And now they get Roshan pretty simply.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
Immortality is mine.
This Rosh is going to be... This Rosh just made the Storm, who is already unkillable, even more unkillable now. And he has... Yeah, he's second on the leaderboard, so... They really want to kill him, but with the Aegis now, it just makes it such that they have to kill him the first time and the second time, and they're probably gonna have to commit the RP to kill him the first time anyway. Yeah. So Trust really has to play this perfectly in order to get the fight into their favor, or they can just decide to split push and give up all the tier 2 towers.
Or Storm can jump straight to the middle creep wave and stop them from pushing mid. Oh man, stopped in their tracks, just like that. But yeah, if to kill him the first time they need Hex, RP, Avalanche, Toss, Split Earth, Lightning Storm, I'm not even sure that kills him. They also need to hit him a bunch of times with the tiny Aghanims and Hyperstone. And then when they're all on cooldown, they may have the damage, but they don't have the lockdown. Oh god, they glimpsed the Leshrac all the way back to top lane. He can't get back to base. This is going to be a 5-4. This could even be too late to Rax. This could be the game. Storm Spirit zips back on 30 HP, heals himself back up, and gets purified by the Omni Knight. But Rax have already fallen. There goes the melee. And now the range as the charge comes forward. Jules doesn't want to commit though. Mineski take the first lane of Rax, 26 minutes in, glimpse now the Orchid jabs. He's found by the Storm Spirit, running out of mana though, the RP comes down onto 3. Static Storm will stop the skewer though, Storm Spirit destroying everybody with another strike onto Lakel. They've got no buyback. Trust. I think it's it. I think they're out. Storm comes back to life, the Leshrac can buy back here. But they're going to lose their 2 lanes of Rax, bot's gone, tier 3 falling quickly. And Signature.Trust. Lion, what's your plan, buddy? I'm gonna zoom in on you. Lion, the last man standing. Where are you gonna go? Your base
Lions
is
out of
falling.
options.
Oh, he's animation cancelling. Yeah, there we go. GG's
there it
called.
is.
There we go. Mineski, guys. Mineski. 2-1 victors here in the ESL One New York Southeast Asian qualifiers. And I just want to make sure, I'm pretty certain they play against Fnatic in the semi-finals. But I just want to make sure. Yes, I was right. So Mineski head on to the semi-finals to play against Fnatic in a best of 3. The other semi-finals is TNC against MVP Phoenix. And the winners of that head into the final best of 5. There is, of course, European games happening right here, right now. Well, not right here.